Hi everyone, exeter-rider, thanks for joining me once again. Now this week is my first ride video of a 125 which I've been longing to ride for a long time now, and it's the 2022 Honda Monkey 125. Okay, let's start straight from the top. I requested to ride this bike and to have this bike on a long-term loan, purely because I know of people who have had these bikes and everybody seems to rate them so highly. Now I totally get this bike. I owned a small bike myself. I owned a 2013 Honda Grom, which I loved that bike, and so it is very much a well-proven motor. I mean, they've been making this for a long time now in different forms, and it's well proved to be, you know, bulletproof, Honda bulletproof. Very strong engine. It also is quite a quick engine as well. It's surprisingly quick for a 125. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be faster than any other 125. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that some 125s that I generally ride can be a little bit sluggish, whereas this isn't. This feels like you're getting somewhere. If you want to open it up and give it some welly, so to speak, then it will make traction and you do feel like you're making progress. It's a very nice bike to look at. I think when people think of Honda Monkeys, they think that it's going to be a little tiny small bike, but in fact the seat height is 775 millimeters, which is pretty much standard height really. So don't go thinking it's a tiny bike, because it really isn't. It's still, you know, the seat height is the same, the handlebar height is just slightly lower than some other bikes. It's the length which is where they've compressed the size. It puts a smile on your face every time you ride in it. It's fun, it's light, it's easy just to pull out the garage. You don't have to, you know, it doesn't. We've all been there when you go to the garage and you pull out your bike and you have to put all your gear on. It's a real pain, but this is so easy to pull out that you don't feel that at all. Two other things which really make this bike special for me is that superb seat. It's immensely comfortable. The last time I went on a comfortable seat like that, it was a Honda Goldwing, would you believe? That is how good that seat is. So we've got a really good seat, but also the suspension, progressive suspension as they call it, is also really good. Got LED lights all around, metal mudguards as well. And let's not forget how important the history of this bike is. As with the Goldwing, the Pan-European, and also the Monkey bike, they are the two bikes that everybody knows about. They're, you know, proper classic, classy retro bikes, and much respect for that. And you know, and as is the Honda Cub as well. It's in that league. You know, everybody knows what a Honda Cub is, as does everybody know what a Honda Monkey is. So yeah, so overall, to say that I'm impressed with the Honda Monkey is an understatement. In many ways, I think it's underrated as a 125, because no other 125 that I've ridden, you know, whether it's a Honda or any other brand, has had suspension like that or a comfortable seat like that. And I almost feel that sometimes this bike gets overlooked. I think people go for, you know, like a conventional, bigger sort of bike, which hasn't got the seat and hasn't got that decent suspension. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying there really is that if you're on the market for a 125 and you want something that's really sort of bulletproof, reliable, and all the Honda traits that you get with the Honda Monkey, definitely have a look at this one, because it really is really good. It's got an alarm on it as well, which I'll show you here. So basically you just get the key, you just push set, like so. If somebody goes to attack it, then you get that. So yeah, it's not super loud, but it's enough to put people off of nicking your bike. I'm sure it goes without saying that, you know, fueling wise, you're not going to get a cheaper bike to run. You know, £20 tax per year, and it's a tiny tank, but it'll go on for a long time, because you can easily get 120 miles to the gallon. That's what I used to get out of my Grom engine, and this is the same engine. So yeah, 120 miles to the gallon is easily done. Right, so let's get on and ride it. Again, easy to hop on and off, which in itself is worth pounds to me. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, this bike is excellent to be riding around town. It's a real fun machine, very easy to ride, and surprisingly nippy. Yeah, it does shift if you want it to shift. It really is quite good like that. As I say, I think a lot of people that buy Groms and other 125s really need to look at this bike. I mean, I chose this bike and requested it for a reason, and that is that I knew that it had a comfortable seat and the suspension was really good. Now you might be thinking, because it's a Honda Monkey, that it's really low to the ground and it's a tiny little bike, but again, it's really not a tiny little bike in the slightest. Yes, it's small and it's not very long, and the way that they've designed it makes it look really petite, and I guess you could say quite cute. I mean, for me, I just look at it as a really nice piece of engineering. It's all really nice the way they fitted the fit and finish of this. It's fantastic, very easy to ride, as you can imagine. The handlebars, there's no reach at all for the handlebars. You know, in traffic, it's amazing. It's really good to weave through the traffic on. And yet at the same time, you still got that fifth gear to, when you do get up to 60. It's not like my old bike where my Grom, where it was a little bit on the low geared side when it comes to fourth gear. You know, the fifth gear really does make a big difference on that, and I'll show you that on the main review. Just a real pleasure to own. You know, it's a bike which I would consider owning, because I've got 3 bikes now. Well, I would have 3 bikes if I owned this, but this is so easy to store that I wouldn't really have to think about it too much, because it could just slot in between the other 2 bikes. It's quite narrow, you see, so chuck it into neutral. Very nice gearbox, very light clutch. So yeah, so I'm going to be showing you a full review on this once I put some miles on it, and do a walk round, listen to that engine roar. Yeah, it sounds pretty good for a standard 125 exhaust. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching this, and I'll bring you a full review on this soon. But if you're in the market for a 125 in between now, honestly, go and sit on one of these and you'll see exactly what I mean with that seat and the suspension. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Like and subscribe, it'll be much appreciated. And me and the monkey, we'll see you next time in the full review. Thanks, guys. Cheers.